Good morning. Today's prompt is stitch. This is way more up my alley than creepy, so I'm going to enjoy today's prompt. It's going to be pretty easy because I have papers already sitting over here that I like, and so I'm just going to pull from that, and I've already decided I want to use these, or at least this one for sure. It's probably going to be a pretty quick one. I'm not even going to set the timer today because I'm going to use my phone over at my sewing machine so that you can watch the stitching. It's not going to be any fancy stitching. I'm just using an old Singer. It does a straight stitch. I'm not using a fancy stitch or a fancy machine or anything today. And I'm just going to do some straight stitching around on my piece of paper here to get the stitching that I want. And then I'll come back over here and I might use this piece for something. I don't know. I'm just going to let the 5-minute timer go today because probably whatever I do will be done within the 5 minutes. And if not, I don't really care today. We're going rogue. And also, a few of you have said that you really miss me talking, and I just wanted to touch on that real briefly and let you guys know that I really appreciate that. Y'all are so sweet, and I really love that you want to hear me talk. But because it's 5 minutes, I feel pressure, and so when I feel pressure, I feel focused, and when I'm focused, talking and that doesn't go together for me. So I'm lucky that I get to film and do anything and talk, honestly, because I create in silence most of the time, but I'm going to try and do a little talking before or after for those of you who really want to hear me talk. So if you don't want to hear me talk and you just want the 5 minutes, fast forward to the 5-minute mark for the project, watch the project, and then be on your way, and then come back later when you want to see me. But I've got a pan sitting here of things that I had been working on, and I asked my husband to bring it upstairs so that I didn't have to carry it because I had a handful of other things to carry. So he set it on my table, and since it's here, I thought I'd show you real quick. At the end of the video, I will go through this and show you what I've been doing. And these are some wrapped up pieces of fabric that I tea-dyed, and probably some coffee on there too, and I'll unwrap them with you, and we'll just sit and visit for a minute after the video. So I'm going to put that to the side, and we'll get started on today's card. Also, I wanted to let you guys know that I sometimes get out of frame, and I'm sorry about that, but I'm not used to doing a 5-minute segment where I really don't look at the camera. I never look up until it's over because I don't want to lose my train of thought, or I don't want to lose the time, because a lot of times I'm busy. Like if you see me shuffling things around or touching the card, I'm thinking, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to use? So I forget to check to see if I'm in frame because I'm so focused on the 5 minutes. So probably what I should do, let me get a marker, is mark a space that I need to keep the card on, so while I'm looking down, you guys can still see. Don't go below that line, Laurie. No. The no line. Okay, there's our no line. Oh boy. Okay. So I'm going to try, as I'm creating, to stay above this line, because like I said, I'm usually sitting when I create, and I'm usually more relaxed, and we have more time, and I know I can edit out the parts I don't want, and I look at the camera and I try to make sure. But for this little series that we're doing, I've made 2 rules for myself. 1, stay in the 5 minutes, except today we're breaking the rule in case I go over, but I don't think I'll go over. We'll see. And 2, and y'all can time it if you want to once I start and see how long it actually takes me. I'm not going to time it. You can let me know in the comments if you time it, how long from the time I say I'm starting till the time I say I'm done. But anyway, the rule is to stay within the 5 minutes, and I've done a pretty good job of that for all these prompts, for 9 prompts. We only have 14 and a bonus, so it's not too many more days. And the other rule I have for myself is I'm not allowed to edit any of the video where I have the timer on. So you see the actual start to finish of what I'm doing, and there's no editing out the thinking, no editing out the mistakes when I go out of camera, all those things. So I just wanted to clarify that with you guys, catch you up a little bit on what my thinking was. Anyway, so today is stitch, and what I want to do is just use this piece of paper. I'm going to cut it down to a size that works for me, and I'm not counting this as my start, so don't start your timers if you're timing me. Like I said, I'm feeling a little rebellious today, so whatever happens, happens. Actually, I'm not feeling rebellious. I'm just feeling pretty darn good. I'm finally able to get out and get some exercise. I haven't been able to do that for months. So what I want to do is I'm going to glue this down. And when I say I'm going to start, you can start your timer if you want to. I'm going to glue this down, and you got to give me a few seconds leeway, because when I get over to my sewing machine, there's the phone set up over there, and I have to turn it on and get the video started. So that's the time that I leave here and go over there and get that started is going to be time used up, and it's not going to count. You can't count that. Okay? All right. And then I'll come back over here to this camera when we're done. Is there anything else I want to tell you? I don't think so. I think I've got everything ready. All right. So now you can start the time. Ready? Go. Okay, I'm back over at the other camera. Okay, I think that's all I'm gonna do. So you can stop your timers if you're timing me. I don't know how long it took. If you timed it, let me know. And like I said, today it doesn't matter if I went over 5 minutes. I don't think I did, honestly. I really don't. It was pretty fast, and I think this is really cute. So that's all I'm gonna do. I wanted to write the word stitch on here though, you know, so maybe you should add another minute on if you want to. If you're gonna be picky about it, add another minute. I want to write the word stitch with my left hand, if I can. Okay. There we go. Okay, now I'm done. All right, guys, that's it for this one. I hope you enjoyed it. And let me put this stuff away, and then I will get that pan, that glass pan of stuff, and I'll explain to you what that is. So let me put this stuff away. Okay, now I can sit down and relax. You probably won't hear me as loud because I'm not up close to the camera. This is a pan that I've had sitting in the kitchen for about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. And I originally started off with a bunch of bundles of fabric stuck together, just maybe a couple layers, and tied, and just poured tea over it. I had tea bags, not this kind of tea. This is pomegranate tea. The tea I used was just black tea out of these papers here. I took them apart. I'm going to use the papers too, but they're the big one, the family size, and I put like 4 in a couple cups of water and let it sit a couple days. Then I poured it over my bundles, and then I let them dry. I just let it evaporate and dry. And I got the idea to do that from, and I don't remember her name, so I'll write it in the video. I'll stick it up here somewhere, and I'll also link below so that you know that the lady who I originally saw do this is why I did it this way. I've done tea dyeing before, but a little bit different. This way produces a little bit more of a darker stain, and I like that. So first, what's in here is a feather. I'm going to be making some marks with that. I've washed it with soap and water. I think it goes to a chicken. We have a rogue chicken around here that just kind of hangs out between all the houses and roosts in a tree in my neighbor's yard above a shed. And then this is just stains from my tea bag. This is the pomegranate tea, and this is the color it makes. This color here is from the tea, and this color is from the tag. The tag makes this beautiful green color. And so if you put this down wet enough, it will do that for you. This is from one tea bag, and this is from the rest of it drying when I moved it over. I just relocated it. Sometimes I'll re-wet it. But what I find funny is the tea bag will turn a red color because of the pomegranate, but it doesn't transfer onto here. There's no red. I think it's beautiful though. So I'm saving these so that I can tear these apart. And I found one in the bathroom. I found this one on the sink, and I think this is my husband's. He must have rinsed out his glass or something, and he left it up here. So of course, I find crazy things, weird places. So that's what that is. I'll be taking these apart at some point. This is some flowers that I wrapped up in some fabric bundles to dye. It didn't turn out the way I would like it to. It wasn't a great idea, but I wanted to try because you don't know unless you try. But I am going to take these apart and use the papers and the petals. So they will be useful. It's just not what I wanted. I probably could have dyed these by themselves without wrapping it in the fabric, and then maybe kept the shape better, but you know, it's not a big deal to me. It's just not a big deal. I can take a regular flower and just stain it with ink. And here's some of the fabrics that I dyed. And this started out just very bright, and it's more this color, but this is a little stained. But this is the staining you get. And I've learned, this is just something I learned through trial and error, that when you're staining something like this, the part that's touching the air is the part that gets the darkest. So what I did was I started undoing things a little sooner before they were completely dry. Like these are completely dry all the way through. I don't know what they're gonna be. I haven't opened them, so you're gonna see it with me. These I started opening partway through and dribbling some more tea or coffee. Like in the morning after the coffee pot, you know, you're done with it. We have 1 cup each. I take the rest of the coffee and I just dribble or dip the fabric in there, and then I let it sit on the edge of the pan, and this is what I get, stuff like this. The part that was inside wrapped up, if you don't put anything else on it, sometimes it stays the way you wrapped it, and sometimes it's just a little bit of a tint. So I don't know if y'all probably know all this, but you know, I'm just letting you know just in case. Here's another tea bag that I emptied. And here's another little piece that I just stuck inside. More tea bags. Okay, this is a piece of muslin that I wrapped this inside. This is the part that was on the outside. Then I opened it and dribbled some more in, and so I got this staining over here and over here. And this is where it was laid against the fabric, and this is the imprint that it made. Like right here, the darkest part transferred onto my muslin. And then I just let some more tea or coffee touch it and got real dark spots there. So I've got a lot of variation, and I really, really love that. So I think it's really pretty. And my goal is to make a little journal with this fabric, so we'll see. And this one is Osnaburg, and this is the part that was outside. And I've got a lot of like variations of color. I don't know if you can see it in the monitor or not. I hope so. But I thought this was beautiful. And I didn't want super dark all over. I wanted dark in some places and then mild to medium in other places. And this was just something that was tied on the outside of one of the pieces of fabric. And so this was the outside. It's more stiff, it's darker. This was kind of wrapped here, it's lighter. And this is dark because it was on the outside more, you know, like exposed more. It was sitting on it like that. And this one, I think this is like a duck cloth or a twill or something. But I had this piece wrapped up in it. So you can see the design here and here. It was right here first, and then when I folded it, it hit right here. So you can see parts of the design. I love that. I just think it's so pretty. If you look real close, here's the whole piece, like right here. And then on here. Just so pretty. Love it. And then this is the outside. This piece was sitting on that side there, like that. And then this is the outside that was exposed. So I can cut off the pieces I want and use that. And this is the one I said was inside. And after I finished, I think I opened it and I dipped this end into tea because I had made another batch and let it sit there, and I just dipped things as I wanted to make it darker. So I got a little dark section here I can use. I've got lighter over here. So really pretty. And this is some of the twine and stuff that I use to tie my bundles, and they've got color on them, so I'll be using those. This is just another piece of muslin. And this is one of the ones I used in my eco dyeing with the flowers and stuff, so there's some green colors on it, which I loved. Right in here. It just became more pronounced when I did the tea dyeing. And this is a piece of sari ribbon. And a little piece of trim. This is just barely colored. It's not very dark anywhere. That's okay. And this is another little doily that I wrapped up in something. See, one side's pretty light, the other side's darker, so I can decide which side I want to use. Cut pieces of that. This is just a little piece of scrap that I had laying around. It's like something you would use for a handbag or something. Some twill, trim, some dark areas, some light areas. This is just a strip of muslin that I tore, and it got really nice and colored over here, and then down here, and some lighter in the middle. This is just regular crochet thread. A lace that I wrapped up in some fabric, and then I dipped the end as I unwrapped them just to get a little darker area. Another one of these little doilies. You can see, look how crunchy dark that is. Ooh, I just love that. It's so cute. So depending on what I want to do. And this is a piece of like an old dresser scarf or something like that that had embroidery on it and stuff. It's just a scrap. I have tons of this stuff that I plan on using for doll dresses and things like that, or just dolls. And I use it in my art sometimes, but I love this. I think this is so pretty. This is one of the ones I used in my eco printing, and you can see all the green over here, and it's kind of got a little tan look to it now, and it didn't before. And then on this end, it's darker. And this is just cross-stitch fabric, Aida cloth. You can see darker areas and lighter areas. And then this is a piece of Cluny lace, and this is really pretty. It turned out really pretty. So, as you can see, I've been busy. I haven't showed you my eco printing stuff yet. I've been working in that journal when I had a chance, and when I get through with this project, maybe I'll move over to that and I'll start sharing some of that with you guys. But I just wanted to catch you up on what I've been doing with some tea and coffee dyeing. Oh, I didn't unwrap these. Let's unwrap these. I forgot. I need an assistant to remind me of these things. Okay. So this is going to have a lot of crunchiness. Well, it's not really crunchy, but it is stiffer on the outside, like I said, because that's where it was exposed to the air. But on the inside, look how plain and untouched it is right here. So I could go ahead and open this up, and then I could just dip parts of it into tea or coffee, or I could just leave it like this and let it be whatever it is. And these I'm just going to let be. I wanted some that were just barely stained, so that's what I got. This is just a piece of muslin that I wrapped up inside, and it got some staining and some dark spots. And then this is a piece of lace that I had wrapped inside also, and it's got some dark spots, and mostly just a very mild light color. And this is the twine that I threw in there that I didn't need, so that was in there, got some color. And then this is another piece of trim. Look how pretty that is. Love that. And this is just a piece of muslin that everything was wrapped inside. And you can see where the dark spots are, that was the outside that was exposed to the air. This one here, this side. Of course, it goes through, but it's darker on this side. And then lighter areas. Oh, love this. And let's see what this one did. This one, what is this? I think this is a piece of canvas, actually. I have some canvas that I cut a piece off of. And I wrapped a piece of lace, like eyelet, and a piece of trim in there. So this is a piece of trim. It got a little bit of light coloring. I know what this looks like without being colored. So this is definitely darker. This side is really pretty. And then this is the exposed side. And then this is the color we got for our eyelet lace. And you can see that it was much, much lighter. This is even colored here, but the lace itself was just a very, very light off-white beige color. Okay, last one. This is just a piece of fabric that has some text on it. I think it's actually, might be, I don't know if it's Tim Holtz fabric or not. Don't think so. Maybe it is. I don't really know. I don't remember. But it's some fabric with a bunch of writing on it, like a newspaper print or something. And I wrapped a piece of yarn in there, and I got a nice color. Oh, that's pretty. This was really, really, really light color. So that's really pretty. And then there's some trim, has some pineapples on it. There's some light color down here. And then this area is darker. And then the fabric, this is the side without the writing. You can see a lot of color in there. You turn it over. This is the side that was exposed. And then the rest of it is a little lighter, a little lighter, a little lighter as you go. And this was very, very light also. In fact, I'll get a piece and show you the comparison of what it looks like. And I think that's it. All right, let me get that piece and I'll show you the comparison. I can't tell you if it's Tim Holtz, but I'm gonna guess it is because of the words, like curiosity. It says eclectic, and that sounds like something he would write, but I just don't know. I can't tell. I only bought a small piece and I can't remember where I got it, so I can't tell you. But look at the color comparison. So I really, really, really enjoyed this, and it was one of those things that I could just wrap up and leave and not worry about for days while I'm doing something else, and then come back to it and kind of finagle with them, undo them if I want to, get them repositioned if I want to. It just depended on what I wanted. I just was playing and experimenting. So I will link below the lady that I saw actually do this. Most of my tea dyeing has always been sort of just sprayed things or just lay them out flat and pour the tea on them, but her method was clumping things together, and I really like it because it does give a lot of variation in the color rather than all one color. And so I think I would be doing this again. So, okay, that's it for today. Thank you for being here. This was a lot of fun. I enjoyed this. This is really cute. I really like this. So I like today's prompt. Tomorrow's prompt, dun dun dun, is coffee. We can do coffee, can't we? I have coffee stain stuff I could use. I'll bring my coffee in if I can remember. Maybe use my coffee, like not drink it all, maybe use it for something. Or I don't know. Maybe I'll just make all y'all a cup of coffee. How about that? All right. Thanks for being here. I will talk to you again soon. Have a great whatever it is. Bye-bye.